Welcome to the Augmentative Communication Consultation Service Partner Strategies e-module. The goal of this e-learning module is to provide an overview of strategies used to enhance communication. A child's communication and language development is based on interactions and meaningful exchanges with his or her partners and caregivers. There are many strategies a communication partner can use to support a child's communication. This e-module will explore each one of the following partner strategies to support a child's communication. Structure the environment. Follow the child's lead. Encourage a shared focus. Increase opportunities. Provide clear expectations. Provide consistent feedback. Use simple, repetitive language. Model language. And establish appropriate prompting strategies. Structuring the environment allows partners to arrange the setting ahead of time to encourage communication and target specific goals. For example, if the goal is for the child to request for more of something, you could stop a favorite activity, such as music, so he or she can have a chance to ask for more. As another example, during a craft, you may plan ahead of time that you will run out of something by using small amounts of the item. This will set up the need for the child to ask for more. When structuring the environment, always make sure that the proper AAC tool is available to the child and the appropriate vocabulary is available. Follow the child's lead. Watch, wait, listen, and respond. Observe what the child is doing and is interested in. Wait for the child to initiate an interaction or respond to what has been said. Listen and wait quietly for a response. This may be a word, sound, or even a gesture. Take the time to interpret the response and repeat back what you think you have understood. Respond to all communication attempts immediately and enthusiastically. This will teach the child the power of communication. If the child requests something, respond immediately, consistently, and clearly. For example, when he or she opens his or her mouth for food, you would immediately verbalize, "You opened your mouth. You want some more food." And then you would give the child more food. Encourage a shared focus. Join in what the child is interested in. Allow the child to lead the activity. Communication is most likely to happen when the child is motivated by the activity. The idea of having fun by sharing in an activity often begins with the child and the communication partner simply attending to an object or an activity. Shared activities might involve combing a doll's hair, playing with cars, or looking at a book together. Increase opportunities. Unlike people who speak, those who use AAC systems may not be able to initiate, gain attention, or interrupt others, even if they are motivated to say something. All people need opportunities to communicate their thoughts and ideas in order to learn and develop. Communication partners need to ensure that lots of opportunities for communication are provided. Communication situations should be structured with a shared focus of attention. For example, provide communication opportunities in daily routines to allow the child who uses AAC regular chances to interact. For more information about using AAC in daily routines, please refer to the ACCS e-module, AAC in Everyday Routines. Provide clear expectations. Always expect the child who uses AAC to communicate. When we have a conversation with a speaking partner, we expect interaction and responses. We must have the same expectations for children who use AAC systems. Expectation is a critical component of a successful communication partnership. If we expect participation, we increase the likelihood that it will happen. For example, if you are expecting the child to do something, make your expectations very clear. You might say, "Do you want more? You need to look at me." Wait expectantly and provide the child with enough time to communicate. Those who speak can often carry on a conversation and interrupt with great speed. Children who use AAC systems communicate at a much slower rate. We must allow time for communication messages to be sent and received. Provide consistent feedback. There are many ways to communicate that do not include speaking, such as looking at something, reaching, grunting, laughing, crying, or pointing. Respond to all of the child's attempts to communicate. Use simple language to explain what you think the child may be doing or meaning.
Tyler, I see you smiling. You like feeding Cookie Monster.
I see you crying, Brandon. You don't want to leave the park.
You like to drum, Nathan. It's fun to make music.
You're pointing to the big dog. You want me to look at the big dog.
Use simple, repetitive language. Using simple language will help to make it easier for the child to understand what is being said. Try to use 1 to 3 words at a time. All peers and adults should make an effort to do this when interacting with the child. Often, if the familiar communication partner does this, it will serve as a role model for others, such as peers or volunteers, to try and copy. Modeling language with the communication tool will encourage partners to slow down and simplify their language. Using the communication tool will provide a model for the child and create a learning opportunity. Model language. When modeling, imagine you are adding closed captions to a silent movie. Look at what the child is doing, feeling, or looking at, and model the key words relating to the situation by saying them aloud or using his or her communication tool. For example, you might say, "You're smiling. I think you like that Dora book." You would emphasize the key words by pointing to the word like, or the word like plus the word book on his or her communication tool. Look at what is happening around you and the child. Talk about what you see by saying it out loud and pointing to the pictures matching what you are saying. For example, you might comment on what the child's peers are doing. "They're playing baseball." Again, you would emphasize the key words by pointing to play or play plus the word baseball on the communication tool. Modeling is an essential part to learning language and the use of a communication tool. Whenever peers or adults communicate with the child, they should think of ways to show how to use the communication tool, along with using simple spoken language. Keep it simple and repetitive. One way to do this is to create a list of common communication targets so that everyone talking with the child can constantly refer to them and know how to model them. This will help all partners to use the same communication targets consistently, which is the key to providing repetition. Use nonverbal communication. Think about opportunities to model language during the day by pointing to items, showing objects, or using your body to provide a response. For example, you may shrug your shoulders to say "I don't know," or nod your head while saying yes. Be consistent. Just like any other skill we teach to children, it's important to be consistent so that the expectations are always clear. This helps to take the guesswork out of getting the message across. By modeling the use of the communication tool, the child will benefit in several ways. It will teach him or her to use total communication to get their message across. It can show the child practical ways to use their communication tool, and shows the child new and different ways they can use their communication tool to get their message across. Most importantly, we want to show that communicating in alternate ways is acceptable and fun. Establish appropriate prompting strategies. When you are learning something new, it's likely you'll need some help along the way. The same is true for our AAC learners. Using the approach of least to most support allows prompting to be more easily fated and allows more chances for the child to be independent and initiate communication. The prompt hierarchy begins at the top of the chart with the least amount of support and moves downwards to the most amount of support required. First, we would begin with natural or environmental cues. For example, you would use body language to show the child that a response is required. This might be done by leaning in and looking at the child expectantly while you wait for a response. The length of time you might wait depends on the individual, but 10 to 15 seconds is a good start. If the child has still not produced a response, we would move along to the next step in the hierarchy, to gesture. A gesture could be as simple as motioning towards the tool or device while using a universal shoulder shrug. Next, you would move on to a verbal prompt. A verbal prompt uses an open-ended question or a hint such as, "What's next?" or "What now?" without directly telling the child to use their communication tool. A more direct verbal cue, such as "Tell me what you want," would be the next step. Moving along the prompt hierarchy, we would then move on to touch. The partner would gently touch or tap the child's elbow or shoulder to encourage the child to try themselves. Next, the partner would show the child how to respond by composing the message on the tool. Finally, the partner would use full physical prompting. This is fully controlling the child's response by using hand-under-hand support to guide the child to respond using their communication tool. This method of prompting is only ever used if absolutely necessary and is quickly taken away. Partner strategies can be used to encourage communication and enhance the quality of interactions with a child. Being better partners allows us to create many opportunities for language learning and builds an environment where communication can be fun and rewarding. Thank you for watching the ACCS Partner Strategies e-module. Please refer to the following resources for further information and support.